They are a product of the times, and these are bloodthirsty times. Even psychopaths have emotions if you dig deep enough. But then again, maybe they don't.
Do you have emotions, Richard?
No comment.
Tell me what kind of emotions you got going through you right now.
I'll tell you what, I gave up on love and happiness a long time ago.
Why?
I don't care to explain that.
Somebody-
Let the quote stand for itself. People in this day and age are brainwashed and programmed like a computer at being nothing more than puppets. This nation, this country is founded in violence. Violent delights tend to have violent ends. Madness is something rare in individuals, but in groups, people, and ages, it is a rule. Killing is killing, whether done for duty, profit, or fun. Men murdered themselves into this democracy.
You're good at reading your script, Richard, but you're not much at answering my direct questions. A lot was made that you're a devil worshiper. Do you worship the devil? Have you ever studied Satanism?
There are different sects of Satanism.
Have you just yes or no? Have you studied Satanism?
Yes, I have.
Are you a worshiper of the devil?
No comment.
Come on, Richard.
I can tell you a little bit about Satanism.
Well, I'm interested in hearing what you got to say then.
It is undefiled wisdom instead of hypocritical self-deceit. It is power without charity. A Satanist admits to being evil.
Do you admit to being evil, Richard?
We are all evil in some form or another, are we not?
I'm asking you the questions, my friend.
Yes, I am evil. Not 100%, but I am evil. Evil has always existed. The perfect world most people seek shall never come to pass, and it's going to get worse.
Give me your complete name, where you're incarcerated, and what your sentence is.
My name is Gene Meredith. I'm incarcerated in Montana State Prison. My sentence is 999 years without parole.
Why are you doing this here?
People with mental health problems can become dangerous. I did. The voices were talking to me and telling me, let's do it again. Remember how good it felt? The feeling that you got. We're going to do it again.
Maybe they'll find it someday.
Do you deserve the punishment the state has inflicted upon you?
That's a very good question, and I'll answer very, very honestly. I don't want to die. I'm not going to kid you. I'll kid you not. I deserve certainly the most extreme punishment society has, and I think society deserves to be protected from me and from others like me. That's for sure. I think what I hope will come of our discussion is I think society deserves to be protected from itself, because as we've been talking, there are forces at loose in this country, particularly again this kind of violent pornography, where on the one hand well-meaning decent people will condemn behavior of a Ted Bundy, while they're walking past a magazine rack full of the very kinds of things that send young kids down the road to be Ted Bundys. That's the irony. We're talking here not just about more. We're talking, what I'm talking about is going beyond retribution, which is what people want with me. Going beyond retribution and punishment, because there is no way in the world that killing me is going to restore those beautiful children to their parents and correct and soothe the pain. But I'll tell you, there are lots of other kids playing in streets around this country today who are going to be dead tomorrow and the next day and the next day and next month, because other young people are reading the kinds of things and seeing the kinds of things that are available in the media today.
Watch the eyes. Can you see them from back there? That's one of the ways you tell when the spirit manifests, is the dilation of the pupils and the widening of the eyes. That's peculiar to African and Indian demons. I break the curse.
I break the curse.
Of my ancestors.
Of my ancestors.
Of the idolatry.
Of the idolatry.
And the sacrifices.
And the sacrifices.
Of blood.
Of
animal.
Animal.
And human.
And human.
You cannot have me.
You cannot have me.
If my ancestors worshipped you.
If my ancestors worshipped you.
I will not worship you.
I will not worship you.
I don't want you.
To themselves, and very few outsiders completely understand the work they do.
These guys are really more powerful than the people in government, more than a president, more than a prime minister.
Once every few months they meet in Basel, Switzerland. There, hidden away from public sight, they coordinate an unprecedented global economic agenda.
Have people ever tried to explain that to the broad American public, that there's this club that meets in Switzerland and does all kinds of interesting things, like affecting their lives, but we're not going to tell you about them because it's too complicated? Give me a break.
They are the world's central bankers, and they are generally credited with having rescued a world that was melting down just 5 years ago.
I think they have more credibility than politicians. I doubt if we've ever had a combination of people that could any better equipped to wrestle with these problems.
But they've also punished an entire generation.
I think they have more credibility than politicians. I doubt if we've ever had a combination of people that could any better equipped to wrestle with these problems.
But they've also punished an entire generation.
What they've done is take money from people who have been really careful all through their lives.
In the process, they've also taken the entire world into the unknown by exercising a power that they alone possess, conjuring unimaginable amounts of cheap money. Most prominent amongst them are Ben Bernanke of the U.S. Federal Reserve, Mario Draghi of the European Central Bank, and Canada's Mark Carney, soon to take over the Bank of England. The central bankers have changed everything for everyone, everywhere. Experts tend to agree that stock markets are at all-time highs, not because of vibrant growth or the performance of the companies, but because of all the cheap money flowing into Wall Street. And real estate is at nosebleed levels in places like Toronto, Vancouver, London, Berlin, and New York City because of artificially low interest rates.
Look, we're watching the long bond right now. It's at a 3 1/4. You're breaking through the technical highs. You can see
Mark Grant watches it all from his mansion in Florida. He's something of a financial oracle. He advises some of the biggest investors in the world, and he says they know they're rising on a tide that is not real.
But here's the problem. The underlying economy that would normally support this isn't there. So it's a false kind of buoyancy, a false kind of tide that everybody's riding and everybody keeps playing. We have now the entire world in a bubble. Every asset class, everything you can think of, real estate, the stock market, the debt market, everything is in a bubble, and something is going to prick it. Okay, so
Grant was one of the first to blow the whistle on Greece and other Eurozone problems. He now issues constant warnings about quantitative easing.
just keep your eye on that.
And what do you tell your clients?
Be safe. I tell them to be safe, be prepared, and fine, play the equity markets, fine, play the compression in the bond markets, but be ready, because you're going to have to move very quickly when this reverses.
Judy White is keenly aware of Mark Carney's imminent arrival at the Bank of England. She'd love to talk to him.
Please, Mr. Carney, look at people like me and say, "You done a good thing, girl, and we're going to protect the sort of people that you are."
Judy's husband, Alan, an artist, is just forlorn.
Because we don't get a terrific explanation of what is happening by printing loads and loads more money. They haven't told us really. They're just doing it. I don't totally understand it. Do you understand it?
White isn't the only one asking. Quantitative easing has disrupted pensions and RRSP-type plans worldwide, and, of course, their payouts.
Hey, Matt, how are you? How are you?
Mark Carney has not ordered any money printing in Canada, but he has kept interest rates down, and he defends what the other central bankers have done.
So there's no secret cabal here that is orchestrating things. This is monetary policy as it's conducted today.
You can understand the anger of an older person who has been a saver or who has a pension, who would draw a straight line from quantitative easing and low interest rates to his or her own decline in wealth and change in circumstances.
Absolutely. I can understand the frustration of that, yes.
But the question clearly is a sore point with Carney.
And, you know, there is a logic to some of your questioning, which is that wouldn't it be better if interest rates were really high, regardless of the consequences? You want to talk about unintended consequences, I'll give you intended consequences of that scenario, which is let's get interest rates back to historic levels so that the money you've saved, I mean, is this all about you, Neil? Is it about the money you saved, and the return on that in your bank account is going to be commensurate with what you expected? And we have double-digit unemployment in this country. We have people losing, you know, hundreds of thousands of people losing their homes, their businesses, because we have deflation.
That, in essence, is the argument of all central bankers today. For all the consequences of quantitative easing, the world would be a lot worse off without it. And that people like Judy White just have to understand that their pain is part of the solution.